Has been far weaker in the U.S. than originally reported. That is according to new data just coming in this morning. Let's get right to CNN's Matt Egan. What's the headline, Matt?
Jim, 818,000 fewer jobs were added during the period between April 2023 and March of this year. We were bracing for these revisions to come out and show that job growth was weaker, and that is what we got. This is probably on the high end of the expectations.
Just a little.
Some of the forecasters had been saying probably around few 100,000 jobs. Goldman Sachs had said maybe up to 1 million. So this is on the higher end. We're seeing some of the biggest revisions downward in sectors that include manufacturing, leisure and hospitality, professional and business services.
All right. So just a little, 818,000 jobs. That's how much they overestimated. So the Biden-Harris Labor Department, every single month, they calculate what's known as non-farm payrolls. And they say, we're adding this many jobs to the economy. And, well, each month they come forward with a revision. And often they're wrong. They underestimate, they overestimate. In the case of this little duo, they overestimated a lot, okay? I had a feeling something was up because here's the deal, guys. You'd actually have seen greater wage inflation if we were really adding that many jobs. But we weren't adding that many jobs. That was all fiction. So CNBC out with its report, 818,000 jobs. That's how much they're revising down. So this is a big deal. It's kind of a whopper because when I heard this, I nearly fell off my chair. The reason being that you might anticipate a few 100,000. There were some calls that were considered more extreme by Goldman Sachs and Wells Fargo that were predicting as many as 600,000 jobs light that the administration was off by. But it turns out it was 818,000 jobs that they were off by. So no, we're not creating a lot of jobs. This is not a good economy. Why the heck would anybody give this woman another chance? She's had, thank you very much, 3.5 years to try and fix things, and she hasn't. This is pretty stunning. And of course, from a political perspective, this plays right into Donald Trump's hands. As it should. I mean, look, 3.5 years, and you know what we have to show for it. Inflation, tons of it. Gasoline up to 51%, electricity up 32%, airfare up 23%, groceries up 22%. My gosh, car insurance 54%, eggs 47%. You get the picture. Well, he's out on Truth Social saying exactly this. Donald Trump weighing in on the job scandal, writing, massive scandal. The Harris-Biden administration has been caught fraudulently manipulating job statistics to hide the true extent of the economic ruin that they have inflicted upon America. New data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that the administration padded the numbers with an extra 818,000 jobs that do not exist and never did. The real numbers are much worse than that. And if Comrade Kamala gets another 4 years, millions more jobs will vanish overnight and inflation will completely destroy our country. Your life savings will be wiped out. With a Trump victory, we will once again have the greatest economy in the world. MAGA 2024. So here's the thing, I'm just saying, I don't know anything with this team, 51X spooks, that's all I can think of, and their darn laptop that they tried to tell us was completely fictitious. I mean, I'd like to believe that the economists at the Labor Department are not deliberately trying to mislead the public, right? But you're like 818,000 jobs. That's a big whiff. That is one big old miss, you guys. And now we find out, at least we found out. So here's the deal. We know she stinks on economic policy, and it's going to get worse if you allow the socialists to come into being for another 4 years. That's the reality. Here's a Fox reporter talking about it. He's out at Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Jackson Hole being the site of where the Fed is gathering, or at least all the big deal sort of Fed types that are gathering there in Jackson Hole, Wyoming for their annual retreat. We're going to get a prognosis on the economy from Powell on Friday. Ahead of that, this is a doozy. I mean, this is a big one. They must be like, what the heck? Because they rely on this data, but you can't, not when they are off 818,000.
This is a huge revision down, 818,000 fewer jobs. This is basically the government's overstated the amount of people in the workforce. And even when you look under this, manufacturing was down 115,000 people. So this is a revision down, a significant revision down, the largest in 15 years that we've seen. And it basically says that the government has now overstated overstated the amount of people who are working in this workforce. It shows weakness in the job markets over the past year that we didn't realize was there, but now we know is there. So again, 818,000 overall jobs down, manufacturing down 115,000 in this. And if you just wrote construction down 45,000. So these numbers are huge numbers in revisions down.
You know, and that's kind of a big deal because, again, we've had inflation in so many sectors of the economy, and yet when it comes to jobs and wage growth, we just haven't seen it there. So if you go back in time, you'd have to go back at least 15 years, probably more than 15 years. Actually, the number could be quite startling because I've certainly in my career, and I've been covering markets since the year 2000. As a journalist, I mean, I've been in and around them since 99. I would say that I've never seen anything quite like this. 818,000 is a very, very large revision by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And basically what that kind of means is every month, you know, if they come out and they say, hey, you know, we are adding however many jobs, I think they were estimating somewhere around 246,000 jobs that they were adding to the economy. In reality, it's more like 178,000 jobs per month that they've been adding to the economy. Look, just to keep pace with population growth, and this is an old statistic, one that I used to reference like 10 years ago, you needed at least 350,000 jobs to be added to the economy each month. The reason I say it's an old statistic is that given how many people, migrants, are coming across the border into our economy, into our country, you actually need more than that in order to keep pace with the population growth, which we can't put a hard number on because it's all illegal. So this is stunning. I mean, just a really, really, really big deal. And I think it's going to have some effect on Fed policy, meaning the Fed might try and be more aggressive. Now, whether or not they should be, that's a whole other question. We've actually got a big report coming out on this in today's 76 quick take. So 76 Research, if you guys aren't subscribed to this, make sure that you do subscribe to this because this is a great opportunity for you. Let me see if I can put the, let me put the notice up here for you to get 76 Research because I think it's just really, really, really important that you invest right about now, that you invest and that you take this opportunity to try and figure out what's really working. My colleague over at 76, Rob Horton, who you've heard me talk about, and some of you follow us there on the 76 YouTube page. There we go. Now it's working. Anyway, Rob is just brilliant and a phenomenal stock picker with a very long history, a couple of decades on Wall Street, running billions of dollars. And we've set up some model portfolios for you. So you can do an inflation protection portfolio, which you probably want right about now because the Fed's going to be more aggressive. These are things that you've got to watch for with all this inflation. An income generator portfolio, which is designed to give you some dividend income, right? I'm a big believer in dividend stocks, and I'm a big believer in getting paid no matter what, right? So even during the downside, having that dividend opportunity. And then the other biggie is I am also a big believer in our future. My kid dragged me to the Apple store the other day. I had to put the Apple Vision Pro goggles on, and I said, well, this makes me feel really good about all my tech investing. Anyway, so that is the American Resilience portfolio. So Rob and I have hand selected each of these stocks, 10 to 15 in each of the portfolios for you. And guess what? Special back to school offer. I want you to do this. I really do. So I want to make it affordable. It's code word dollar, DOLLAR. Go to 76 Research, type in code word dollar, and get all that information. Like I said, we're coming out with a report this afternoon on just exactly what went down there at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because I'm telling you guys, this is not normal. Like, it's just not normal what's going down. And I think that, we've got to actually hold some people accountable. I have no doubt Donald Trump will. And so this, as I said, politically anyway, plays right into his hands. If you look at all the recent polls, what you see is over and over and over again, people say the same thing. They trust him on the economy. They don't trust her. So why would anybody vote for her? I don't know as they really will. I think there's a lot of hoopla. There's a lot of excitement.